Welcome back, YouTube. We're here on Saturday the 15th, June 2030. So, against all odds, says that everyone enjoyed the show. So, not bad. We went to the Impact Zone. Yeah. That looks pretty good. So, real quick, I'm going to save that. We're going to go over to the, other series. Okay. So, this is what we all missed. Last video. What happened was that it recorded everything, but all you could hear was my voice. You couldn't see anything. So, Austin Creed became a two-time champion, but is now refusing to defend his title. The tag team champions are The Bar, 53 days, 3 successful title defenses. James Storm is still the United States champion. Now this is what happened. Victoria was in a match with Bessie Griffin, and she suffered an aneurysm of some sort, and they had to book it to where Bessie Griffin won, and so Victoria will be out for 400 days, so T-Nail Dashwood will turn heel relatively soon, but Ariel got a call mid-show and was told to win the title by an unknown source. Jeff Hardy has not defended his title yet due to him being injured, so thought I'd share that. Let's go back to the other one. Okay. Let's see. 32 million people tuned in. Let's see. User stats, our highest best show was the TNAiMPACT. In December of 2029, our best match was Ace Austin defeating CM Punk for 94. Highest attendance was Turning Point 2030 for 26,000 people. Highest viewership was 34 million people on TNAiMPACT. And our highest TV rating was TNA Driven. So not bad. The most popular person is actually The Rock, which is weird because usually Ace Austin dominates it with all 92s except for here and here. Now Cody Rhodes is behind Ace Austin. I wouldn't mind nabbing Cody Rhodes if I can. Yeah, we ain't got many people. Bray Wyatt is still alive. I mean, it looks like he's going to retire soon. But this whole database right here, it's been really good to Bray Wyatt. He's become a 3-time Universal Champion. Okay. He's became a WWE... Oh, wait, no, actually, that was already there. That one was too. So, basically, this one, and this title reign was the only ones that came. Maybe it's Kevin Owens that I'm thinking of. Yes. 4-time WWE Universal Champion. 2-time Intercontinental Champion. So not bad. Most of that was obtained while here. Now, Jamie Hayter, she's been a long stay of TNA. She's been in TNA for 2 years now. But before she was in AEW, she came back to TNA. In fact, right here's the actual job history. Right here. Where is it? She wrestled in TNA from April 2024 to August 2025 before leaving for AEW, where she signed on to a bigger deal. Then we got her back in 2028. And when it's all said and done, she will be the greatest TNA Women's Champion, in my opinion. Either her or Toni Storm. And I've always tried to keep the women's titles as good as the others. So today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna just look at what I've done as a booker for the entire year that I've booked. I'm not talking about in-game year. I'm talking about outside real life year. Because I looked today and I've been booking this for going on a year and 3 months. So, needless to say, let's start with the Knockouts World. Okay. Trinity was the current TNA Knockouts champion when I done this. Marty Bella won it and held it for 85 days before Tessa Blanchard came in and held it for 23 days. Before Carrie Bristow came and won it for 166 days. Her and Jamie Hayter had a rivalry in which Jamie Hayter won it and held it for 85 days. Saraya came in and held it for a whopping 31 days. Chris Statlander held it for 61 days before dropping it to Mercedes Moné, who held it for 99 days. And then Alexa Bliss held it for 89 days. And then I had Jamie Hayter win it again for 54 days this time. Mercedes Moné then won it back to hold it for 62 days. Camille then won it to hold it for 61. Before Toni Storm won it for her first reign for 107 days. Then we saw Lacey Ryan win it. She held it for a whopping 74 days. Danny Jackson then won it and held it for 99 days. Then Toni Storm came back. Or actually, I don't think she left. But Toni Storm won it in August of 2026 and held it to December 2026 for 108 days. Then Kano, or aka Asuka, won it and held it for 31 days. Mercedes Moné then held it again for 73 days. Candice LeRae then won it off of Mercedes Moné and held it for 24 days. Then Mercedes Moné won it right back and held it for another 91 days. Toni Storm won it for 92 days. Held it for 92 days for a third reign. And then Tatum Paxley won it and held it for a whopping 18 days. Before Noella Foley, Mick Foley's daughter, won it and held it for 158 days. Before Toni Storm won it for 129 days. Well, won it and held it for 129 days. Jamie Hayter won it and held it for 115. Then Tatum Paxley held it for another 25. And then Liv Morgan's first reign, she came in the first day of January 2029 and won it to hold it for 79 days. For then to lose it to Athena, who held it for 41 days. May of 2029, Liv Morgan won it again and held it for 74 days. Jamie Hayter won it a fourth time and held it for 99 days. Ava Flawless then won it and held it for 41 days after being booked a whole in-game year. Julia Hart then won it and held it for 48 days. And then Jamie Hayter won for her fifth reign for 77 days. Now, Jamie Hayter, Mickie James, and Madison Rayne and Victoria is tied at 5 reigns apiece. The highest ranking is Gail Kim. The longest singular TNA Knockouts World title reign is Taya Valkyries for 377 days. Combined reigns, though, Gail Kim held it for 596 days, where Deonna Purrazzo held it for 534 days. And then Toni Storm also held it for 436 days. So, starting with number 2. It changed its name from the, it changed its stuff. Originally, it was a secondary title, but I decided, hey, we're going to make it like the upcoming TV title. Let me get a sip of my drink. Okay. Sorry, so, let's see. Kenny King was the holder when I started booking, and I had him hold it till the 21st of August, where then Jake Crist won it and held it for 139 days. And then Frankie Kazarian beat it off of Jake Crist and then held it for 45 days. And this was before I made it like a TV title, like a floating level. It was still secondary. Then Ace Austin held it for 105 days with only one defense. AJ Styles beat him to hold it for 99 days with 9 defenses. Orange Cassidy won it to hold it for 61 days. Jon Moxley beat Orange Cassidy to hold it for 54 days. Lucky Ali won it for 97 days. Jake Crist won for a second time to hold it for 91 days. Somebody else had it for 91 days. I thought, maybe not. Then Matt Riddle took it off of his hands for a 38-day reign. For Matt Vandegrift to win it and hold it for 54 days. Then Kerry Morton won it to hold it for 54 days. Back to back 108 days. Ryan Nemeth then won it to hold it for 76 days. Dolph Ziggler's little brother. Chris Danger then came in and won it and held it for 120 days. Matt Vandegrift then held it for another 146 days. Then we seen Eric Redbeard win it for 37 days. Eric Young beat Eric Redbeard to hold it for 62 days. In which this was when I was trying to bring Eric Young's popularity back. David Benoit beat Eric Young for it to hold it for 28 days before losing it to none other than TK Cooper, and then David Benoit won it again for 37 days. Dustin Rhodes won it and held it for 146 days. Then Bryce Donovan beat him for it to hold it for 122 days. Diego Hill won it and held it for 61 days with 0 defenses. You can see when I stopped really using it to defend. Algal Blank held it for 37 days with 0 defenses. Alec Price won it to hold it for 123 days with 0 defenses. David Benoit held it for 23 days with 0 defenses. Rey Mysterio the fourth won it for 56 days with 0 defenses. I think there might have been an error. But David Benoit won it back to hold it for 48 days with 2 defenses. Rey Mysterio held it for 17 days with 0 defenses. Bryce Donovan held it for 30 days with 1 defense. Chris Danger held it again for 106 days with 0 defenses. Then Raven Creed won it for 47 days with 0 defenses. Then it was vacated. Anthony Bennett won it for 121 days with 2 defenses. Shelton Benjamin then won it off of him to hold it for 68 days with 2 defenses. And then Leon Slater held it for 53 days. Now I reinstated this title and I made Ace Austin the first champion of it, and he held it for 61 days and had 1 defense. RVD won it and held it for 130 days with 15 defenses. What this reign was going to be was like his TV reign in ECW, but it didn't happen. Marshall Von Erich came and won it and had it for 53 days with 2 defenses. RVD won it back and held it for 37 days. Murphy then held it for 146 days with 5 defenses. Jeff Hardy then won it for 130 days with 6 defenses. And then Eddie Edwards won for 52 days with 0 defenses. Jeff Hardy won it for a second time to hold it for 54 days with 2 defenses, where Dolph Ziggler took it off of him to hold it for 75 days with 2 defenses. Sam Shaw then won it and held it for 85 days with 1 defense. Finn Balor then won it for his first reign for 99 days with 7 defenses. Jeff Hardy then won it again, 82 days, 1 defense. Dolph Ziggler then won it once again, 24 days, 1 defense. Claudio Castagnoli held it for 136 days with 8 successful title defenses. Dominic Mysterio held it for 61 days and had 1 defense. Austin Theory held it for 114 days with 6 defenses. Lucky Ollie, 68 days, 2 defenses. Jeff Hardy for a 4th time, 23 days, 1 defense. Tommaso Ciampa held it for 92 days and had 2 defenses. Brian Pillman Jr. held it for a whopping 274 days, 10 defenses. Brian Pillman Jr. did beat him for it. He held it for 31 days with 1 defense. Lost it to Jay White, who held it for 61 days, 3 defenses. For Bryan Danielson to win it back and hold it the same amount of days, but 1 more defense, actually. Brian Pillman Jr. then held it a second time to hold it for 23 days with 0 defenses. AJ Styles then held it once for 76 days, 5 defenses. Drew Galloway won it a second time and held it for 69 days. Jon Moxley won it once again. Or no, actually won it once, sorry. Let's think of the digital media title. He held it for 74 days with 2 defenses. Austin Theory won it off of Moxley for 99 days with 3 defenses. And then Adam Cole beat Theory for it and held it for 46 days with 1 defense. Austin Theory won it once again for 18 days with 0 defenses, where AJ Styles won it a second time. Held it for 25 days and 0 defenses. Griff Garrison then held it for 48 days and 2 defenses before vacating it for 16 days. Jimmy Uso won it and held it for 57 days. And it held 2 other defenses. Okay, let's look at the X Division. When I came in, Leo Rush was the champion, and he held it from an unknown start date to the 14th of August 2023. 0 defenses. Colton Gunn came in and held it for 115 days with 2 defenses. And then Jonathan Gresham beat him for it for 45 days and 0 defenses. Samoa Joe beat Jonathan Gresham for it and held it for a whopping, in his 6th reign, 84 days, 2 defenses. And then Joe Coleman beat Joe for it, 54 days, 0 defenses, where Shelton Benjamin won it off of him and held it for 37 days with 1 defense. Marshall Von Erich got his first taste of gold here. Or no, actually his second taste, I think. And held it for 92 days, 2 defenses. Shelton Benjamin won it once again and held it for 54 days, 1 defense. Then Marshall Von Erich won it once again, 104 days for 6 defenses, where Ross then beat him for it. Now I know what you're thinking. What? His brother beat him for it? A storyline was created in which Marshall Von Erich became a big star in TNA and was holding titles left and right. But he forgot about his brother. And Jeff Jarrett had been mad at Marshall Von Erich. And so he brought him in for that. But after 54 days of holding it, he had to vacate it for 7 days, where Laredo Kid picked it up for 116 days, 5 defenses. Then Lucky Ollie won it and held it for 188 days with 2 defenses. Sami Zayn won it and held it for 92 days, 3 defenses. Finn Balor won it and held it for 23 days, 0 defenses. Sami Zayn then won it once again for 92 days, but only had 1 less defense. Kenny Omega defended it 7 times in a 99-day reign. Malachi Black held it for 137 days and only defended it 5 times. Finn Balor won it 99 days, or held it for 99 days once again. Well, his first reign was 23 days, but he had 2 defenses. And then Andrade beat him for it and had 0 defenses in his 37-day reign. And then here's where it started picking up. Seth Rollins won it and held it from October 2027 to June 2028, 230 days, 11 defenses. Andrade won it back off of him and held it for 75 days with 2 defenses. And then Seth Rollins picked it up again, held it for 61 days and 4 defenses before having to vacate it due to injury. Ross Von Erich won it again and held it for 11 days with 0 defenses before Jimmy Uso picked it up and held it for 61 days for 3 defenses. Claudio Castagnoli won it, held it for 65 days, 2 defenses. Bryan Danielson won it, held it for 92 days, 2 defenses. AJ Styles won his 7th reign, 37 days with 1 defense. Ayaki Yayo won the title and held it for 85 days with 2 defenses. Bryan Danielson won it once again for 45 days, 1 defense. Dolph Ziggler held it for 113 days for 4 defenses. Chris Sky held it for 45 days with 2 defenses. And Seth Rollins is in his current 3-time reign, 41 days, 2 successful title defenses. Let's look again here. Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews was the original holders when I started. Ace Austin and Chris Bay won it a second time and held it for 85 days before losing it to FTR, who held it for 68 days for 1 defense. And then Ron Killings and Orange Cassidy held it for 31 days, They then lost the title back to FTR, who held it for 107 days, who then lost it back to Ron Killings and Orange Cassidy, who held it for 99 days. 1 defense, 2 defenses. And then Dirty Dango and Eddie Edwards picked it up and held it for 1 month, 0 defenses. Then Beer Money picked it up and held it for 85 days, 3 defenses. Zachary Wins and Trey McGill, the Rascals, well, they won it and held it for 73 days, 3 defenses. And then Beer Money won it once again, 78 days, 3 defenses. And then Caesar Bonami and Jeff Jarrett held it for 14 days, 0 defenses. And then that's when the Von Erichs beat them Port and held it for 115 days with 5 defenses. Gargano and Ciampa held it for 54 days with 2 defenses before losing it right back to the Von Erichs for 158 days, 7 defenses. They did win it once more in that year. And they for 61 days, and they lost it to the Fatu brothers, who then had to vacate it due to injury. Ross Von Erich and Marshall Von Erich held it for a week before losing it to the New Day for 108 days. Then Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz held it for 45 days with 1 defense. Claudio Castagnoli and Shinsuke Nakamura held it for 31 days with 0 defenses. Then the Von Erichs picked it back up for 69 days with 2 defenses. The Rascals picked it up again for 37 days with 0 defenses. And then Bryan Danielson and Eric Redbeard picked it up once for 0 defenses in a 37-day reign. Brian Donovan and Dustin Waller won it, 92 days, 2 defenses. The New Day won it again for October 2027 to March 2028, 139-day reign. And that's where I started the International Tag Team Championships. Sami Zayn and Montez Ford held it for 135 days with 3 successful title defenses before Edge and Christian won it for 31 days, 1 defense, vacated due to Christian retiring. Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley picked it up, held it for 92 days, 4 defenses. And then Edge and The Miz won it for 54 days, 4 defenses. And then MJF and Samoa Joe won it and held it for 114 days before losing it to Claudio Castagnoli and Kofi Kingston for 74 days with 2 defenses. Nick Aldis and Matt Vandegrift won it and held it for 99 days with 4 defenses. Kofi Kingston and Big E won it for 70 days, 3 defenses. The Von Erichs picked it up once again, holding it for 19 days, 1 defense. Ace Austin and Seth Rollins picked it up and held it for 64 days with 1 defense. Then the Von Erichs picked it back up for 36 days with 2 defenses, 0. And then Bryan Danielson and David Benoit held it for 40 days with 0 defenses. International Tag Team title. The title was created in April of 2027. The first champion was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They held it for 91 days for 4 defenses, Then Christian Cage and Chris Jericho held it for 49 days with 1 defense. Aaron Stevens and Anthony Bennett held it for 13 days with 1 defense. Pentagon the Third and Rey Mysterio the Fourth held it for 61 days with 3 defenses. Christian Cage and Chris Jericho won it once again for 23 days with 0 defenses. The Von Erichs held it for 197 days with 4 defenses. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa held it for 122 days for 4 defenses, DIY. Then Bryan Danielson and Eric Redbeard won it for 17 days with 0 defenses. Then that's when The Miz and Edge picked it up and held it for 55 days with 5 defenses. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin held it for 96 days and 2 defenses. Johnny Gargano, DIY, held it for 61 days, 0 defenses. Von Erichs, 61 days, 0 defenses. Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, 61 days, 0 defenses. Morrison Rex Lawless, 45 days, 1 defense. And then it is vacated. Before Charlie Regal and Chris Scott picked it up to hold it for 36 days and 0 defenses. And then David Benoit and Bryan Danielson held it for 62 days with 3 defenses. And then in their current first reign, Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn for 105 days. 1 successful title defense. Briefcase contract started in April of 2027. CM Punk was the first winner, in which he cashed in on Ace Austin. Austin Theory won it, but I don't think he got the cash in. In fact, I think he was the only one out of this list who didn't get a successful cash in. The Miz won it in 2029 and cashed in. MJF won it, cashed in. Then started with the Knockouts Rumble. Ava Flawless and TNAiMPACT Liz won it. 1 time apiece. And then the Men's Rumble, Edge was the first winner. And then AJ Styles, Murphy, Marshall Von Erich, and then Randy Orton. We'll start with that in a moment. Knockouts Television Champion was created in September of 2029. The first champion was Heather Reckless, who held it for 14 days with 2 defenses and was vacated it due to injury. Sol Ruka picked it up, held it for 11 days, 1 defense. Ava Raine held it for 82 days with 4 defenses. Danny Jackson held it for 77 days, 2 defenses. Aliyah won it for 44 days with 1 defense, 20 days with 0 defenses, and her current rank, Kenzie Page. Okay, let's see. Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich held it from unknown start date to October 2023, 0 defenses, before losing it to Jessica and Ava Everett, who held it for 99 days, 1 defense. Alice Crowley and Addie Starr won it and held it for 121 days, 1 defense, before Jessica and Ava Everett won it again and held it for 41 days, 0 defenses. And then Alice Crowley and Addie Starr won it once again for 13 days, 0 defenses, before Mercedes Money and Nikki Storm picked it up to hold it for 62 days with 0 defenses. Alice Crowley and Addie Starr held it for 160 days with 0 defenses. For real, I think it's glitched out. Paige VanZant and Chris Statlander, 120 days, 3 defenses. Danny Jackson and Christina Von Eerie, 169 days, 3 defenses. Alice Crowley and Addie Starr for 84 days, 0 defenses. Chris Statlander and Paige VanZant, 20 days, 1 defense. Alexia Nicole and Daria Brunetto, 139, 0 defenses. Paige VanZant and Chris Statlander, 68 days, 1 defense. Sol Ruka and Heather Hesketh held it for 116 days, 1 defense. Ava Raine and Noella Foley held it from February 2027. They held it for 83 days, 7 defenses. Britt Baker and Killer Kelly held it for 37 days, 1 defense, before they picked it right back up for a 99-day reign with 4 defenses. And then Alice Crowley and Addie Starr won it to hold it for 30 days with 1 defense. Denny Luna and Candice LeRae, though, held it for 219 days, 2 defenses. Tatum Paxley and Heather Hesketh picked it up for their first reign for 92 days and 3 defenses. Had to vacate it, I think, due to injury. But Candice LeRae and Denny Luna won it once again, held it for 44 days, 1 defense. And then Brittany Blake and Jenny Rose held it for 92 days with 2 defenses. Ava Raine and Camille won it and held it for 120 days with 1 defense. Giulia and Brittany Blake held it for 17 days with 0 defenses. Alia and Alice Crowley held it for 99 days, 2 defenses. And then Tatum Paxley and Heather Hesketh made a record by holding it 249 days with 9 successful title defenses, and in their current reign, 2-time champions, 20 days, no successful title defenses, ever reigning Camille. So let's get to this. So, original champion was Alex Shelley, and then we let Murphy hold it for 11 days under cheating rules. He had to the title was given back to Alex Shelley, who held it for another 128 days, who then lost it to John Moxley, who held it for 281 days with 17 successful defenses, before Edge won it for 85 days with 6 successful title defenses, and lost it to Brock Lesnar, who held it for 97 days with 5 defenses. Ace Austin lost it to Brock Lesnar lost it to Ace Austin, who held it for 78 days for 6 defenses. And then Bryan Danielson won it, 75 days, 4 defenses. And then Ace Austin won it once again for 160 days. And in that 160-day reign, Ace Austin turned heel on AJ Styles at Bound for Glory. Randy Orton held it for 28 days in 1 defense. Ace Austin won it once again in his 3rd reign. He held it for 115 days with 9 defenses. And then Seth Rollins won it and held it for 62 days with 2 defenses. And then Ace Austin won it once again for 30 days with 2 defenses, before Ricochet won it and held it for 85 days with 6 successful title defenses, although he injured Ace Austin. So Seth Rollins held the title for 53 days with 7 defenses. And then Randy Orton held it for 61 days and 3 defenses. And that's when CM Punk cashed in on Randy Orton to hold it for 105 days, where Ace Austin took it off of him. And then when Marshall Von Erich won the Rumble, he wanted to feel the taste of the world title. So Ace Austin let him have it before they hugged it out and made up, This was hinting at the Ace Club breakup. MJF then won it off of Marshall Von Erich to hold it for 342 days, 21 total title defenses. And then Chad Gable won it for 72 days, 5 defenses. MJF held it again for 51 days for 2 defenses. The Miz held it once for 28 days, 2 defenses. Dolph Ziggler held it for 41 days and 1 defense. And Malachi Black won it and lost it right back to Dolph Ziggler, who held it for 14 days with 0 defenses. And then Ace Austin won it for 116 days in his 6th reign and had 15 defenses. AJ Styles then held it for 23 days with 1 defense. And then lost it back to Ace Austin for a 169-day reign, 18 defenses. Andrade held it for 36 days with 1 defense after Marshall Von Erich cost Ace the title. And then Drew Galloway held the title for 4 days with 1 defense. Now let's go to the World Heavyweight title. Malachi Black won it and held it for 23 days with 0 defenses, where Seth Rollins held it for 7 days with 1 defense before being injured. Austin Theory won it and held it for 47 days, 8 defenses. And during this reign, he would attack at Jeff Jarrett and put him out for December 2028 till 2 episodes ago. Randy Orton won it off of him, held it for 84 days with 10 defenses. Myro held it for a short 20-day reign, 0 defenses, before Randy Orton picked it back up and held it for 92 days with 4 defenses. CM Punk picked it up and held it for 47 days with 2 defenses, before Drew Galloway picked it up off of Punk for 61 days and 2 defenses. Randy Orton won it for 57 days and 7 defenses, and then Cody Rhodes held it for 6 days and 0 defenses. Randy Orton held it for 36 days and 1 defense. Edge held it for 30 days and 2 defenses, before MJF picked it up and held it for 70 days with 4 defenses, and then Gunther in his first and current reign, 41 days, 3 successful title defenses. So, with that being said, I think I've did pretty good. I mean, looking at the start, I took Ace Austin, who was at 40 popularity, and shot him up to not even Ric Flair level, but Steve Austin level popularity. Okay? I took AJ Styles, who was at 60 popularity, and shot him back up to the 80s popularity. Bobby Roode returned to the company and got shot up some. Brock Lesnar really didn't do much. One title reign, and then he was mostly put on our child promotion. Now, Bryan Danielson, well, I got him. He had a 69 popularity. And right away, he had a title feud with Ace Austin, where we got our first 80 and 70 show. Bryce Donovan, we hired him when he was at like 11 popularity. He's developing into a superstar still. Carrie Bristow is a pretty good star. She's held the title once. But this is the one I'm most popular of with Ace Austin. Because when I got him, his age is more than what his popularity was. I picked his stuff up, all his popularity. I give him a title reign. Now, has everyone here had a great career? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. Because you've got people like Danny Black, who's never won a title here. Except for the tag team titles. That's on the Alliance. Which I will get to them too. But people like EC3 never won anything here. I mean, he won it in his first reign. But when he came back, nothing. Edge, he's had a pretty good reign. I'll explain why. He's been a world champion, a Rumble winner, a world heavyweight champion, 2-time tag team champion, 1-time tag team champion, international tag team champion. And he's also, I think, won the international world. Yep. Griff Garrison, he's still working on it. Jeff Hardy's also had a pretty neat reign. He's not won any world titles except for the Alliance ones here. He's been a 3-time winner. Jeff Jarrett's only won 2 titles, I want to say. Yeah, Tag Team Championship with the Cesar Bononi and the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Mostly what he does is he puts over people. John Cena, he's had what I would call a very lackluster career here. He's not won anything at all except for the international heavyweight title, and he only held it for one day. He didn't even hold it for a day. And all he's done really is show up for like 6 or 7 matches here and there. Julius Creed hasn't had nothing done. See? Kenzie Page, I'll be honest, I forgot she was even on the roster. But I'm booking her again. Kenny Omega, though, he's had a quite relevant run. Sure, he's not been like the TNA World Champion anymore, but he did hold the X Division Championship. Kurt Angle, at the start of this, I did want to bring out retirement and let him win one more world title. But I won't have him do it. Now, MJF, in my opinion, has had one heck of a TNA career. 2-time world champion, 1-time world tag team champion, 1-time Joker's Wild champion, 1-time TNA world heavyweight champion, and then 1-time tag team champion, and 2-time international heavyweight champion. So let's look at the Alliance title. Specifically not this one because I haven't really booked it as much, but this one. It started in October of 2023. Ricky Starks was the first champion. He held it for 31 days and had one defense. Before Frankie Kazarian picked it up for 23 days and one defense. Jeff Jarrett then held it for 45 days with 2 defenses. Eric Young then won it back 71 days, 4 defenses. Eric Young won it. The Goliath Black Taurus then won it and held it for 81 days with 4 defenses. Adam Cole won it, held it for 54 days, 6 successful title defenses. AJ Styles won it and held it for 7 days with 0 defenses before Ricky Starks won it to hold it for 47 days with 0 defenses. Riddle won it for 38 days, 1 defense. Bryan Danielson won it for 54 days, 2 defenses. Ace Austin won it for 151 days, 6 successful title defenses. Vacated it. Finn Balor won it, 37 days, 2 defenses. Adam Page, 92 days, 8 defenses. CM Punk, 85 days, 5 defenses. Christian Cage, 66 days, 2 defenses. Dolph Ziggler held it 7 days, 0 defenses. Bryan Danielson held it 102 days, 3 defenses. Jeff Hardy held it for 13 days, 2 defenses. AJ Styles held it once again, 171 days, 8 defenses. MJF held it for 51 days in his first reign, 5 defenses. Daniel Garcia won it for 28 days, 0 defenses. MJF won it once again, 207 days, 18 defenses. AJ Styles held it once again, 31 days, 1 defense. CM Punk held it once again, 85 days, 2 defenses. Jeff Hardy picked it up once again, 29 days, 1 defense. Jay White held it for 116 days with 5 defenses. Ace Austin picked it up after Adam Page, 44 days on Adam Page's with 2 defenses. Ace Austin, 160 days, 12 defenses. Cody Rhodes won it once and only held it for a half a day before Jeff Hardy won it. And then John Cena won it in February and only held it a half a day. Edge won it and won it for 45 days. Jay White held it again for 24 days. Andrade then held it for 283 days, 21 defenses. Mark Davis held it for 12 days, 0 defenses. Drew Galloway then held it for 47 days with 2 successful title defenses. And then The Rock has held it for 67 days with 3 successful title defenses. But the 2 careers I'm most happy about was Chad Gable's and Ace Austin's. Ace Austin's more though, because I want y'all to look at this. Digital Media Champion, Grand World Interim, World Tag Team 3-time Champion, TNA World, 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 7-time. Then he's also a 3-time X Division Champion. And, that's not worse, 2 successful heavyweight defense. Or 2 successful international heavyweight title reigns. So yes, I think I've did a pretty good job. And I've spent 51 minutes doing nothing but going over reigns. So wow, not bad. I'm going to stop it here though. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family. The most important of all though, share it with your dog.